What happened, Brendan?
So frustrating. On Wednesday, it was just one of those days where we got absolutely hammered with people in really significant need. So I won't go into all the detail, but it's just a full-on day with people doing it really tough. And then about 5:30 in the afternoon, a young guy came in, spoke to one of our workers and said that he was homeless. So a social worker went through the whole process of organising accommodation and food and all those sorts of things. And then another one of our workers actually overheard another guy in another part of our building talking into his jacket saying, "I can hear both your voices coming through loud and clear, you're doing well."
Yeah.
So that worker went down and spoke to our social worker talking with the alleged homeless person and said, "Look, we probably should just have a quiet talk outside. I think you're being set up." So that worker came and spoke to myself and our manager of homelessness, our homelessness work, and Anthony went down and then continued the interview with the homeless person and then started to pick up that it was a setup. So he actually said to the homeless person, "Are you wearing a microphone?" And this guy eventually said, "Look, I am." So Anthony actually spoke into the microphone and said, "Listen, if there's a sound person here or a cameraman, just get in here." So a guy turns up and he said, look, he was from one of the unis in Melbourne. He was doing a journalism course, but the guy that was pretending to be a homeless person just wouldn't give up the act. And this dragged on. We wasted about an hour of our time, and it was so frustrating because I was dealing with a guy that was suicidal on Wednesday, and we had another woman came in that was a victim of domestic violence. So we're dealing with all of this stuff, and then right in the midst of this, we've got people recording us and I don't know if it's a university prank or if it was part of an assignment, but just incredibly frustrating stuff.
So did the person who was pretending to be homeless, did they finally confess or not?
Oh, finally, yeah.
So they were a uni student as well?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. So you got two uni students pretending and wasting your time when you're dealing with people genuinely in need.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the worry for me is that it potentially becomes the gift that keeps on giving, in the sense that our workers then have other homeless people come in that are in significant need, and in the back of their minds they're thinking, geez, is this real or am I being had here? So that's the other real concern for us as well.
Yeah, well, you got a social worker or somebody, a street worker tied up for an hour. No, that's just... Did you find out which university?
Am I allowed to say, Neil? Because
yeah.
we're not 100% certain. Well, they said they were from Deakin, but we're not 100% certain of that, so we're just following that through at the moment.
Yeah, well, we can help you follow it through. We'll talk to you off air. You'd hope that it wasn't actually an assignment to go and journalism course. I mean, that's unethical for journalists to tape anybody without telling them.
Oh, it's breaking the law, I think.
It is breaking the law. If you really play it, it's breaking the law, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just frustrating because I think the other thing too is, you know this, when you're with homeless people, often their stories are just horrendous. And then to have somebody come in and see homelessness as a bit of a joke and try and sanitise that whole really horrific situation, it's just so frustrating.
Did they understand when you confronted them on? Did they get the point, or are they just silly kids?
Well, I think the sound guy did, but the guy that was playing the role of the homeless person didn't. So, he just saw it as just a bit of fun, I think. I don't think he quite got the message.